Coming up, more heavy rain is leading to several flash flood warnings tonight.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. More heavy rain is moving through the mountains tonight, and there are several flash flood warnings in effect, and we're seeing some video now on social media of ongoing flooding in some of our northern counties. Let's go straight to WYMT's Brandon Robinson for the latest on this severe weather alert day. Brandon.
Steve, it started coming in fast and furious tonight. We were on Facebook for a long time, and then after that, we've just been busy nonstop tracking all these different warnings and flood reports. Let's go right to the last few hours to kind of show you how this set up. It's basically congealed into a line up to our north. We had some rain here in Hazard a little earlier, but this line is pushing south as that front continues to push south. Just a few of these severe warnings that we still have tonight there going across the region. I'll show you those a little closer in a second, but we're watching two batches of rain. We've got the ones to the central parts of the area, which is causing a lot of problems out there from basically Breathitt County all the way out toward the Big Sandy and back out toward I-75. We're watching that other cell down into parts of Lake Cumberland. And we take a look at some of the active warnings. Our system can only display 4 at a time, and there is many more than 4, but you see the ones on your screen go through later tonight, some of those almost 2 a.m., and that's a big chunk of real estate across our area. So we're going to continue to watch that, continue to track that, and I have some reports to share with you here in Maine weather here in just a few minutes. The active flood watch continues through Friday morning at 8 o'clock. It was supposed to expire tonight at 8 o'clock, but they let that go till Friday morning now. That also includes much of our area. I do think that they've allowed parts of Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee to expire. Would not surprise me if this rain makes it all the way to those borders. Again, we're going to continue to see temperatures out there in the 60s and 70s the 70s and 80s out there for the first little bit, but we'll start to cool down pretty quickly as we head deeper in the night. 72 as we head into the overnight hours. Those rain chances will continue before hopefully drying out just a little bit later on. Full forecast in just a few minutes. Steve.
Brandon, thank you. Families in Floyd County are still cleaning up after some significant flooding yesterday. Officials declared a state of emergency there. Mudslides are also popping up one after the other in the Cow Creek area. As Marley Pinchok shows us, the cleanup process is just beginning for many.
My dad is 79 years old. He said this is the worst he's ever seen it.
Mudslides popping up one by one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hill slides.
Heaping piles of mud and dirt washing down into Shondella Burchett's backyard, ruining her patio, plants, and stone walkway.
I never expected yesterday that it would be this of magnitude.
Thankfully, no water got inside her home. Burchett said along with her family's help, she spent an hour yesterday constantly sweeping away water from getting into her living room. Burchett lives in the Cow Creek area of Floyd County. It's one of the areas hit hardest by Tuesday's flash flooding. In efforts to lend a hand in the cleanup process, the Floyd County Community Center is offering cleaning supplies like mops, buckets, and bleach. However, for anyone who may not be able to go pick it up themselves, county leaders have stepped in to help.
We're going to do it as needed. As soon as we get the calls, we're putting it out, and I will have supplies on the truck, so if I'm out and about and someone needs something, then we'll just drop it off.
Neighbors like Burchett thankful for any little bit of help. But in her case, she knows she has a long road ahead of her.
You work so hard to keep things up and going and have a nice home and a nice place to live. And it's just when something like this happens, it's very heart-wrenching. I was hoping this morning I would wake up and it would be just all a dream.
A nightmare neighbors like Burchett are forced to wake up to, trying to establish the first step in starting over. Marley Pinchok, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Governor Beshear says Kentucky's Division of Emergency Management is on the ground in Floyd County and helping those in that area. Now back to tonight's flooding. Dispatchers in Morgan County say part of a highway has washed away there. It's Highway 460 between McDonald's and Hutch Ford. They say it's the westbound lane. Traffic cones are set up. Dispatchers say it is passable, but are asking drivers to use caution. That's just one report we've heard of several coming in just in the last few minutes of flooding. Just saw some pretty dramatic video that the Breathitt County Sheriff shared on Facebook of some flooding in the frozen area. And again, a big area of heavy rain is moving south, and we can just hear it start here in Hazard on the rooftop. And what concerns me is that we've already had one round of heavy rain here in Perry County a little earlier this evening, so it could be a long night. You can find more weather coverage on our website, WYMT.com. You can also get the latest on the WYMT News app. Just scan the code there on your screen with your phone camera to download the app. You can also sign up for breaking news alerts, and we also encourage you, especially on a night like tonight, to download the WYMT weather app for the latest warnings and live radar anytime. It really comes in handy. In other news, a golden alert was issued tonight for a man from the Bond community in Jackson County. Gilbert Jones was last seen on July 23rd wearing a gray t-shirt, blue jeans, gray Reebok shoes, and a watch on his right wrist. He's described as a 67-year-old man with gray hair and a slim build. If you have any information, you can call 606-287-9979. A benefit lunch today raised more than $10,000 as a community stepped in to help one of its deputies. Darren Lawson is recovering 8 surgeries in almost 1 month after being shot in the line of duty during the Allen barricade in Floyd County. Now his community is raising money for his expenses with a benefit lunch. He says it's a blessing to have so many people in his corner.
It's an amazing feeling, and I hope it continues even after all this is said and done. Hope the community still supports our men in blue even after all this is over.
Lawson says the real heroes are the men who gave it all that night, and he encourages people to keep the families of everyone impacted in their thoughts and prayers. Well, a California man is now charged with 3 counts of murder in connection with a deadly wrong-way crash in Laurel County. Earlier today, police released a short video clip showing a driver heading north in the southbound lane of I-75 near the Laurel County Way Station. Surveillance video shows the truck headed the wrong way, going right by a tractor-trailer and another car. Dispatchers say they were flooded with calls from drivers saying they were nearly hit.
911.
Somebody's running the wrong direction on 75.
Yeah, what Toyota?
I can't get it.
What? Okay, yeah, we've got several calls.
Yeah,
We've got them on the way.
Just north of the scale.
We've got them on the way.
3 people from the Chicago area were killed. The driver of the truck, 21-year-old Joshua Poor, was released from UK Hospital and taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center tonight. Poor now faces 3 counts of murder, and deputies say it is suspected that he was intoxicated at the time of the crash. An investigation by the Narcotics Division of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office led to a Waynesburg man's arrest on drug charges. Narcotics detectives say they were conducting surveillance of suspected drug activity when they noticed a Ford Mustang leaving and swerving in the roadway. The driver, Matthew Mounts, was pulled over by a sheriff's deputy and police canine. Officers say the canine found drugs inside the car, including 165 grams of meth and marijuana, as well as drug paraphernalia and a handgun. Mounts was taken to the Pulaski County Detention Center, where he's facing a number of charges. Sheriff Greg Speck asked that if you have any information about drug activity or any crime, to contact their tip line at 606-679-8477. Last night, Breathitt County employees received a memo from Judge Executive Jeff Noble saying they'd have to be laid off due to budget cuts. Following the second reading of an occupational tax removal that took place at yesterday's fiscal court meeting, Judge Noble sent the memos saying the loss of the tax would leave the court unable to pay its workers. He later retracted the memos, saying everyone can continue working and that he hopes to resolve the situation with the fiscal court.
I don't like to pay taxes. You don't like to pay taxes, but some things you've got to do, and to be able to provide what the county deserves, I mean, you got to have the numbers, and they're just not there right now.
The 3 magistrates who voted for the occupational tax removal say they wanted to help people struggling, saying the fiscal court can operate comfortably without those funds. A Floyd County man who served on the WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic Committee for several years has died. Harry Burke died Saturday at the age of 87. He retired from Columbia Gas and was probably best known as a high school referee. He called several football and basketball state championship games. Burke was a former Marine and was married to his wife for 64 years. His funeral will be tomorrow morning at 11 at the Hall Funeral Home Chapel in Martin. All of us at WYMT send our condolences to his family. Toys for Tots set up outside Perry Central High School earlier today. 40,000 toys were given out to kids in our region. Toys for Tots partnered with Christian Appalachian Project and Good 360 to do the legwork. But the event was not just about the toys. Multiple groups came together to donate books, drinks, food, and school supplies as well.
From Feed the Children, Good 360, World Vision, and that is where the rest of this product has come from. The toys has come from Toys for Tots, but the rest of the product actually comes from them, and then we just kind of add that in just to try to help the community out.
This is the 3rd time Christian Appalachian Project has worked with Toys for Tots. Last year, the 2 groups partnered together in Manchester. The salmonella outbreak linked to Jif peanut butter is over. That means any peanut butter on store shelves now is safe to buy. The CDC recalled the peanut butter and other foods made with the peanut butter after multiple people got sick with salmonella. 4 people were hospitalized. The CDC says you should still check to make sure there's no recalled peanut butter in your home. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, as the rain falls in Hazard, a tribute decades in the making. We'll tell you about the new addition to the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C.
And the forecast continues to evolve and heavy rain continues across the region. I'll have the latest in a few minutes.
45 years now.